talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! It is gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball!
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Brendan, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
I think Chris and I are both in agreement that Rob Thomson is a fucking idiot and just does not know how to manage a bullpen and how to smartly pick who he puts in to pitch at certain situations. But what's up, everybody? Eric, also known as Shard, here with the 302 Birds post-game show. And we have a bit of a crossover tonight. We got Chris from Sippin' Sports on tonight on the Phillies post-game show. But Chris, man, what did you think about this game tonight? Because we're going to get into it, but I feel like tonight's just going to be a bit of a rant.
Yeah, it was disgusting. I mean, this is a game that they should have won very easily. It was they shot themselves in the foot. I mean, it was you have Johan Rojas and Sosa in the outfield just not knowing what to do at all. It was a routine pop out. And there was a miscommunication, I guess, but it just drops right in front of Rojas. And so that's the center fielder's ball. He's got to go catch that football. Yeah, football, baseball, whatever the hell it is. I'm so pissed off. I don't even know what sport I'm talking about right now. And then Rob Thomson decides to leave in Zach Wheeler way too long. You could tell he was done. He was gassed. He pitched over 100 pitches the last time out. It's very early in the season. And his velocity was a little bit down, and he just let him stay in there and get his head beat in. It was a tie ball game at that point, and you knew they were going to win after that. So just an embarrassment all around from this baseball team. And I'm not even talking about the bottom of the lineup who didn't have a single hit the whole night. But nearly a cycle from Kyle Schwarber, though. So there's that.
Really, I mean, the only positive thing to really come out of this game tonight was that matchup of Schwarber and Casti. But I mean, we'll get into that in a second because we were talking about it in the group chat that this needs to be the lineup, in my opinion. I mean, I think you need Kyle in that cleanup spot. I don't think Bohm is the correct guy to put there. But getting into the first topic, looking at the pitching report, Zach Wheeler just did not look himself tonight. You and I had been talking during the game saying his velocity looked a little bit down. He just looked off. His velocity did not look there. His pitches looked slow. He looked a little sluggish on the mound. Looking at his stat line for tonight, 5.1 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 1 home run. His ERA goes up to a 3.44. Matt Strong comes in after that to close the inning. 0.2 innings pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout, 0 ERA still. Kerkering, he looked terrible today too. I don't know what his issue was, but his command looked completely off. He got the loss tonight, so he's 1-on-1 on the season. 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run. 2 walks, no strikeouts, 1.93 ERA. And then, again, you can kind of just tell when the game's over, especially with the shit that Rob does and the people that he puts in to close games. Because I knew as soon as Tanner Banks was warming up that the game was over. I mean, you're putting in a guy to close that really just doesn't close. 1 inning pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, which is earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts, 2.25 ERA. So just like overall, absolutely terrible outing from the bullpen. Other than Strom, we've said this before on the show, and Chris, I'm sure you said this before on Sippin' Sports, that I really do think the bullpen is going to be one of the biggest issues this season. Dave Dombrowski loves his washed up, nobody knows who they are, bullpen relievers. Tanner Banks is not the guy. You got the guy from, who did they get? Like the guy from the Royals. I don't even know who he is because he hasn't fucking pitched other than one time.
Hernandez, is that his name?
But like, that's going to be the issue down the line is you're going to overuse. You kind of saw it today. You're overusing Orion. Strom is okay, but you're going to be overusing all these guys to where they're not going to be able to keep up with the load, and it's just going to keep getting to them. And we got Taijuan Walker going tomorrow, and I just don't think he's going to have another outing like he did against the Rockies. I think the Braves are going to absolutely eat him alive tomorrow. That's kind of my expectation. But I will give him props. We expected that against the Rockies, and he went out for 6 shutout innings. So it's going to go one of two ways. I think he's going to get shelled, but that's just me.
Yeah. To me tonight, the walks were just the biggest issue. I mean, yeah, that was terrible of Rojas just letting that ball drop right in front of him. But then Wheeler, the next batter, just walks Kelenic. And he walked him twice tonight. And then when Kirkring went in there, first guy that comes up walks him. That's such a killer when you're a reliever and the first guy you face, you walk. I feel like 95% of the time, whenever the first guy gets walked, he somehow scores. So the walks right now are just, it's ridiculous. And I'm really getting sick and tired of it. Just throw strikes. I'd almost rather Kirkring give up a solo home run to the first batter than give him a walk. It sounds crazy, but I feel like, you can just settle back in after the solo home run and just pitch. After the walk, now you're worried about the runner and a whole bunch of other crap. And, it was just a disaster. And I mean, Wheeler really shouldn't get tagged with 5 earned runs tonight because that Rojas thing, that's an error. I don't care what the official score says. That is 1,000% an error and should be ruled as an error. I don't know why they're like, oh, it's not because he didn't touch the ball. That shouldn't matter. If it's an easily catchable ball and it's right there, that's an error in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think by definition an error, like somebody has to touch the ball, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you though. I think it's stupid. I think it should be an error because there's no, I don't mean this to be weird or anything, but there's no language barrier between Sosa and Rojas.
No.
So it's I mean, I watched after it happened and I saw them down in the dugout and Rob is just chewing the fuck out of Rojas. And Sosa is just looking at him like, don't even talk to me right now. Because again, it's just, how do you mess up that bad? I'm sitting there watching the game and I'm like, all right, this is an easy pop out. Somebody's going to get there. Somebody's calling it. Somebody's going to be under it, catch it. It's going to be an out. And just to watch the ball drop, and this can get us into our next topic of clown of the game, but just to kind of watch the ball drop right at your toes is ridiculous. And they were going off in the post-game show for NBC Sports, but it's just like Star Wars said here, appreciate you tuning in, Star Wars. You're always in here. But send Rojas down if he continues to do this, because I mean, granted, I said that he was going to have a breakout season. And he's just not, he's not doing it. He's not. And that sucks for me to say because I really thought he was going to be big. But if he's going to continue to do this shit where he's coming in, he's not showing that he deserves to be here, he's not making these plays, his batting looks atrocious, then send him down. Or you just DFA him at this point and cut your losses. Because, I mean, it's been What is this? His third season now? Second
Yeah.
season?
Third, yeah.
It's his third season of just looking mediocre. I mean, he has flashes of greatness, and then he just sucks for weeks on end.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Keep going.
I think his time here is coming to a close.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's like people have mentioned the send him down AAA thing. You're not going to play him over Justin Crawford because I think that would be really dumb because Justin Crawford, he is the center fielder of the future. I mean, he's batting over 300 again this year. I know he doesn't hit home runs and people are going to get mad about that because, all people want are home runs. But he is a very good baseball player, and he is somebody the Phillies could use right now if they really wanted to. And to me, it's sad for Rojas because it looked like he was finally starting to put it together a little bit with the bat. I mean, his average is still over 400. But if you make big mistakes like that in the field, that's the one thing that, you should be able to rely on Rojas for is, all right, he might hit 230, but he's going to play Gold Glove defense. If he does stuff like that, he's not worth it at all. You might as well DFA him. He's just another Christian Pache at that point, who you DFA'd last year. So it's inexcusable to do. And I just don't know how much more you can play him if he's going to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. And I saw Philly's Twitter kind of up in arms saying like it'd be the best if Rob kind of pulled him right now after this error. Granted, they weren't going to do it, but I think that, again, I agree with you that Crawford is the center fielder of the future. And even if Crawford doesn't hit home runs, I mean, they need to learn how to do small ball. That first inning where, granted they only scored one run, but they had flashes of small ball there, and they had flashes. I sat there watching, and I was like, if they can continue doing this the entire game, they're gonna win. They're gonna score runs. Granted, the bats went cold for most of the game, but I mean, I don't know. I think they need to really get their heads in the game and just not rely on the boom and bust, because I mean, Kevin Long, this can take us into our next topic, but Kevin Long is just, I don't know what he does with these guys, because a lot of the approaches today, especially like Harper in the first couple innings, Harper was just swinging at air. Like his first at bat looked absolutely horrendous, swinging at air. I get it that Chris Sale against lefties on the plate is just nasty. It's hard for lefties to hit against Chris Sale, but just why are you swinging at air? Why are you swinging at stuff in the dirt, way outside, way above? Looking at the batting report, we'll break it down. We have quite a lot to go through here. Turner, leadoff spot today because Chris Sale is a lefty. Turner 1 for 5, accounted for 1 run, had 1 strikeout. Harper 1 for 4 with 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He accounted for 1 run. Bohm finally got a hit. I can't stand Bohm. I still think, he's just not that guy, but whatever. 1 strikeout, 1 for 5, accounted for 1 run. Schwarber, I was really hopeful that he was going to have the cycle today. Like Star Wars said here, he had to get the cycle. I feel like if he got the cycle and we lost, I'd be sitting here a little bit more upbeat. I'd be a little bit more happy. I wouldn't be as irritated because he got the cycle, but he didn't. So whatever. Schwarber, 3 for 3, walked once on that last at bat. He really did try for a double, but he got walked. Accounted for 2 runs, 3 RBI, no strikeouts. Castellanos, he looked great today. I really do think having Casty and Schwarber in that 4-5 spot is the way to go for this lineup. I think they really feed off of each other, and I think if they can keep that up, it'll be huge for them down the stretch. Castellanos, 3 for 4, 2 RBI, no walks, no strikeouts. Real Muto, I want to get into that in a second because Chris and I think, agree on Real Muto. I'll say this. Defensively, he's great. If he gets a contract extension, though, it's not going to be for his offense. So, Real Muto, 0 for 3, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Sosa, I mean, defensively, he looked great today, robbed that home run in the first inning, but other than that, just really didn't do much. 2 strikeouts, 0 for 3. Marsh came in to pinch hit later in the game for him. 0 for 1 with 1 strikeout. Marsh, absolutely terrible. Pack your bags. You're out of here. Stott, 0 for 4, 1 strikeout. Rojas, 0 for 3, 1 strikeout. Kepler, 0 for 1, and that is that. 9 hits on 36 at-bats, 5 runs, 5 RBI, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. So just overall, a lot of strikeouts today. Really weren't patient at the plate at all. And I feel like a lot of it attribute from the announcer jinx because Tom and whoever else was in the booth, it wasn't Kruk today. I can't think of who it was. All they talked about was, oh, the Phillies have the lowest chase rate, and oh, the Phillies are so patient at the plate, and oh, last game they weren't chasing. And then, I mean, like, one shut up about it, and now they're chasing shit in the dirt. So, like, just overall, bats just need to get better. Kevin Long, I still think needs to go. I don't think Kevin Long is the answer. And I think some of these guys that are fighting for contract extensions aren't showing that they're deserving of it. Like JT, for example. I just don't think that he's offensively deserving of it. Defensively, another story. I think he's fine defensively, but offensively, he's just not showing it.
Yeah, I really like this lineup tonight. I think this is like nearly in my opinion, the perfect lineup. I probably would have switched Harper and Bohm because I don't think Bohm is a 3-hitter. I think he's a 2-hitter, and I think usually you put your best hitter at 3, who's Harper most times. But, you know, just I really don't think the bats were that bad besides the bottom of the lineup, you know, and you can't really expect them to do too much. It's really they had that small ball philosophy for like the first 4 or 5 innings, and it just went away. Like they just reverted back to let's just hit a home run and that's it. Like they hit really well against Sale, and as soon as Sale was out, I mean, what did they get? They didn't get any hits off anybody besides Sale. They got no hit after Sale.
Yeah, I mean,
great.
This is the issue, though, right? Like, it's either they come into the game and they don't hit off a starter, and then once the bullpen comes in, they're lights out against the bullpen, and they're, you know, cracking bats, or it's they hit against a starter, and as soon as the starter's pulled, they just completely go shut. They completely just turn off their bats and go cold. So this is just another instance of typical Phillies baseball where they either do one or the other, and they never do a combination of both. They never do a combination of, okay, we're going to get a few runs off the starter, a few runs off the bullpen, win the game. Today just kind of seemed like, okay, we have the lead, we're done. Whereas I feel like the first couple games of the season, it was, all right, we're going to score runs and we're going to keep fighting if they come back. Today was just like, all right, we're in the lead. We're content. If they come back, whatever. So
yeah, they just fell asleep. They fell asleep. It really felt like they just took their foot off the gas. And, you know, when Wheeler lost it there in the 6th, they were just done. Fell asleep and it was over. It's just it's a real shame. You know, this is a game they should have won. They would have stole one against the Cy Young. Not that it's technically stealing one, because Wheeler was the runner-up and probably should have won the Cy Young last year. But, you know, he didn't have his best stuff either. You could have stolen a game against the Cy Young when your own pitcher didn't have your best stuff. And they fell apart.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at some of the comments, I completely agree with our seeker here. the 1 inning per reliever thing, I don't think it works either. I mean, I do kind of agree with you here. I think if a reliever is dealing 1 inning, that you leave them in for another one, because I just if they're hot, leave them in, let them go, see how long they can go. And then if you need to pull them, you pull them. But that kind of leads us into our next topic of Dumb Rob. Rob Thomson, for whatever reason, the past couple years, does not know how to properly manage a bullpen. It's either A, he leaves in the starters way too long, and they end up letting up runs. We saw that today with Zach Wheeler. He probably should have been pulled when he loaded the bases, but wasn't pulled. You saw that today with Orion Kerkering. Again, I mean, granted, Orion wasn't terrible, but you probably should have went out and talked to him sooner than you did. And then putting in Tanner Banks, out of all people, you're trying to stay in the game. You're trying to win a game against your division rivals. And now that you lost the game, the Mets are in first place. Really? Tanner fucking Banks? I can't comprehend Rob Thompson's thought process when it comes to the bullpen, because we saw this in 22, we saw this in 23, we saw it in 24. I mean, he doesn't know how to manage a bullpen. We saw it with Craig Kimbrell. We saw it with oh my God, I'm blanking on the name. We saw it with Sir Anthony Dominguez. We saw it with who was the other guy that went to the Orioles with that trade?
Soto.
With Soto. So it's just I don't know what the answer is here. And granted, I mean, we're still early into the season. Maybe Rob can fix this. But if this is another season of Rob just mismanaging the bullpen, he's got to go. I'm sorry.
It is literally every single time there's a starter out there. I just notice he's always a batter or two late. And I get it. You want to let the guy try to see if he can figure it out. But you could tell. I mean, what was Wheeler throwing there at the end? 92, 93? He was down. And it's just pull him already. I mean, it happens with Nola every time. Nola gives up a home run right before you should have pulled him. And you could just tell the velocity dips. He starts missing his spots. It was happening again today. And then, and I just feel like they take way too long to go out and then talk to guys, too, when they're struggling. You have, 5 mound visits? They barely ever use any. They use maybe 2 or 3 of them a game. When Kerkering walked the first guy and they threw a ball on the first pitch to the second guy, talk to him right then. Don't even let him keep pitching. Talk to him right then. You don't have to pull him because you can't pull him yet, but at least talk to him, settle him down. And maybe he'll, snap back into it. But it just the management by Thomson, I've never been a fan of it. I probably will never be a fan of it because I know he wins games, but it feels like there's so many more games that he can win. Right. He's a above 600 manager. He could be a 700 manager, honestly.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think if he had some better managing techniques in certain situations, his win percentage would be a lot more than it is. And I feel like this is today, for example, was one of those cases where it's a very winnable game that was lost with just dumb managing mistakes. And I don't agree with putting in the pinch hitters that you did. You put in Marsh for Rojas, and you put in you put in Marsh for Sosa, and you put in Kepler for Rojas. I don't agree with either of those. I think Marsh is absolutely terrible. He just has not shown up. He's not clutch. He's not hitting. Kepler, to me, is just terrible as well. Just screams to me another Austin Hayes, Whit Merrifield situation. Yep. Dave Dombrowski loves his washed left fielders. I don't understand, again, some of the thought processes that go here, especially when you're pinch hitting 2 guys who, I mean, Max Kepler, congratulations, you had that 1 home run in Philly. But other than that, like, what have you realistically done in your tenure here so far? So I again don't understand the thought process. I don't understand Rob's decisions, and people are going to hate that, and they're going to be like, "Oh, well, you don't know baseball, you don't understand Rob." But it's just another season of mediocre decisions. So, I mean, that's really all I have on the whole Rob thing. Did you have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it in the group chat a little bit earlier, but where's Cody Clemens? Is he hurt? Like, is there something up with him? Like, why is he? I don't even know if he has in a bat yet this year. That's the guy you should put in that situation, not Kepler or Marsh, who's probably going to play tomorrow night. Like, at some point, you want to get the other bench bats a chance. So they're not coming out there after not playing for 3 weeks and dropping a fly ball that's hit right at them. Like, you got to play some of these guys that are on your bench. I just don't get it. Play Clemens. Yeah, he's probably going to have the same result, but at least he's faced some pitching and isn't just sitting there.
Right. And I agree with you there. I think you had the option of Cody Clemens, and granted, Weston Wilson isn't up yet. I think he starts a rehab assignment tomorrow, I think is what I saw. But in a hypothetical sense, if you had either one of them, you probably should have pinch hit either one of them. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Where is Cody Clemens? Why are we not? I mean, you have him on the active roster, you have him on the bench. You probably should have used him in this situation and seen what he was able to do, because, I mean, that's what Cody Clemens does. He comes in randomly and he gets hits. So I really do hope that in the future we see smarter managerial decisions. But I mean, other than that, it is what it is. I don't feel confident, about tomorrow's game. And that's kind of getting us into our next topic of looking ahead. I don't feel confident about tomorrow's game at all. Thursday's game, I mean, maybe just because of the pitching matchup. I do completely trust Jesus Luzardo. But like I was telling Chris earlier, tomorrow is Taijuan Walker against Grant Holmes. And I want to give Taijuan the benefit of the doubt, because we all expected him to get shelled last week. And he came in and, I mean, he pitched 6 shutout innings. Granted, it was against the Rockies, but this is a team that is used to your pitching. They know you. They see you many times a year. I think it's really going to be up to the offense tomorrow whether or not they want to stay in the game. I think Taijuan Walker's going to let up anywhere between 2 to 5 runs tomorrow. I really do. I'm going to knock on wood. But looking at tomorrow's tomorrow's matchup, it's late, guys. I'm tired. But it's Taijuan Walker, right-handed pitcher, 1-0 on the season, 0 ERA, 4 strikeouts. Against Grant Holmes, right-handed pitcher, 0-1 on the season, 7.2 ERA with 5 strikeouts. That's on Wednesday. On Thursday, it's Jesus Luzardo against Spencer Swellenbach. Jesus is a left-handed pitcher, 2-0 on the season, 1.5 ERA with 19 strikeouts. He leads the MLB in strikeouts right now. Spencer is a right-handed pitcher, 1-0 on the season, 0 ERA with 14 strikeouts. That closes out the Phillies and Braves. Probably closes out the Braves series. And then we have Phillies at Cardinals, but those pitching matchups are not posted yet. WMP, my guy, we have 60 viewers right now in total between all platforms. So, I mean,
Philly sports guy loves us.
Not really sure.
The Philly sports guy and I are really good friends. So
yeah, I was gonna say Philly sports guy showing up to our Eagles autism event. So
yeah.
I'm not really sure what your point is here, buddy. But yeah, I would say 60 viewers across all platforms is pretty decent right now. But go off, I guess. But yeah, I mean, We have some decent pitching matchups on Thursday. We have a really mediocre matchup tomorrow with Taiwan on the mound. So, you got any predictions for this series?
You probably don't want to hear them, but
I mean, I do.
I don't trust Walker, and I know you're a Luzardo guy. I am not a Luzardo guy. He pitched really well last week. He's pitched well both the times he's pitched so far, but I don't trust him either. I just don't think he's that great of a pitcher. I think he's got great stuff. I just don't think the control's there all the time. And I think he's going to be really streaky, but we'll see. I hope he's figured it out. But, I mean, with the way Phillies have been with pitching, good luck.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I'll leave it at this. I think we always play down to the Braves. I think that this was a very winnable game. And I think that this series is either going to be we lose this series, which whatever, or we wake up and it comes down to the offense. It's going to be one of two things. But that's really all I have for you guys tonight. For those of you that aren't familiar with Chris, he does our Sippin' Sports on Saturday mornings with Dolt. So make sure you tune into them on Saturday. They'll be breaking down some more Phillies topics, Eagles topics, whatever else you guys talk about. Sixers are a dumpster fire right now, but they break everything down, so make sure you tune into their show. Chris, appreciate you for hopping on. For anybody that wants to follow Chris on Twitter, it's Chaos Chris, correct?
Yeah, Chaos Chris, PHL.
Okay. So make sure you follow Chris. He gives some really good takes on Twitter. And then also, just as a reminder, if you're not doing anything, April 16th, we are having a charity bartending event from 6 to 10 at Klondike Kate's on Main in Newark. Philly Sports Guy is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Chris is going to be there. Dolt, everybody from the main show. Birdman. There's a bunch of other people that are coming. If you want the flyer, it's on our Instagram at 302birds. There's so many people coming, though, that I can't remember them all just because it is going to be such a big event. So, again, if you're interested, make sure you come out. We're going to be doing raffles. We have special drinks that we're going to be making. So it's going to be a fun time. Make sure you come out, support a good cause. But on that note, that's all we have for you guys. We'll be back here tomorrow at 7:15 with another post-game show. So see you back here tomorrow. Everybody, have a good night.
The Vikings!
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! It is gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.